Hello everybody, how are you doing? It's Damon yet again with another video over there, and today I thought we'd talk about the best vampires that movies that I've ever seen. Now, it won't be top 20 because there's some movies I haven't seen, so I cannot lie and tell you that I watched it and I liked them because I didn't see it. For example, I never saw What We Do in the Shadows because I want to see it, but I've been discouraged with Taiki Waititi since he butchered Thor: Love and Thunder, and especially misused Christian Bale as hell and made everything as a joke that was bad after the second time, first or second time. But I know it's something I should watch. However, I'm gonna already start with the dishonorable mentions of movies, bad vampire movies. For example, Morbius. At the same time, did anybody think nowadays that movie with Jared Leto is good? I think his last good movie was Dallas Buyers Clubs. Everything else that he touched turned to crap. Says Suicide Squad, crap. Zack Snyder's Justice League was good, but it's also good because he was barely in it. It was just at the epilogue, and he can actually, in my mind, it doesn't count. I mean, Tronaris, crap. What other movie that he did basically was crap. Like it's like take your pick with him. Oh yeah, House of Gucci, crap. He was basically trying to be Italian, and he pretty much came up as a creepy Mario brother. Anyway, you also have Vampire in Brooklyn, and I'm kind of disappointed in that movie because they have great acting with Eddie Murphy and Angela Bassett, and it's directed by the late great Wes Craven, but it doesn't fit. This movie tried to be something it's not. It tried to be sometimes the Eddie Murphy comedy vehicle, and sometimes let's make a serious vampire movie. And it's like pick a lane. It didn't work. So it's not lack of effort. It's like I think that for a while, like at first they knew what they were going to do, but middle of working it, it's like we're gonna win it. We don't know what they're gonna do. We don't even know what was going to be turned into, so we'll just wing it to the best of intent. And Dracula 2000 with Gerald Butler. That's a movie that the only great part is the twist at the end, but everything else sucks. But number six, let's go for the top 60 movies. And guess what? There's some Dracula movies that you wouldn't expect. Like I was close to an honorable mention on Hotel Transylvania because it's still a vampire movie. Adam Sandler plays Dracula, and it's a comedy. I didn't say it has to be a serious vampire movie. And no, Twilight's not on it. So, number 16, Jesus Vampire Hunter. Yeah, it's a little known indie movie, but boy, was it did make me laugh. If anybody saw that movie, it's like it's really cheaply made, but it made me laugh. And if you have to be cheaply made, assume it. You know? It made the movie so much entertaining, and that's a movie I recommend to people. Number 15 is the Day Shift Netflix movie with Jamie Foxx and Dave Franco. I didn't expect much, and I'm not gonna say the movie was great, but it was pretty fun, pretty entertaining. I would like to see a Day Shift too. Like Jamie Foxx, played great as basically a vampire hunter. Dave Franco as their friend becomes a vampire. I really liked it. Again, to me, it's an 8 out of 10. I'm not saying it's a classic, but it's something I would see it there. Okay, number 14, I would put Renfield. Nicholas Hoult played in two vampire movies on that list. I'm warning you there. But it's like this one was the more comic one. And Nicolas Cage played a great Count Dracula in a very cartoony, Amy way. And Aquafina, actually, to me, came up in that role where she does seldom do in movies. She came up being sympathetic. But yeah, I like that movie. I also felt like the first half was better. Second half, it started to be a bit more serious. So the first half they knew was it was corny, it was campy. I thought that's why it should have remained, but alas, we don't get to control those things. That's number 14. Number 13, it might be controversial because played rather low, is Christopher Lee's Dracula. I really like this. I love the late great Christopher Lee's performance. It's like that makes or break the movie, honestly. And it's a must-see classic for anybody who wants to see a great vampire, great version of Dracula. Which reminds me, another honorable mention should have been Shadow the Vampire with William Defoe. But number 13 is Christopher Lee's Dracula. Number 12. That's a comedy. I didn't say one comedy. Dracula, Dead in Love in it with Leslie Nielsen. Looking back, it's like that's the one movie that I thought of all this. I love Airplane of the Naked Gun trilogy, but I never got that one when I was a kid. I was like, it's not as funny. Plus, why is Leslie Nielsen playing the bad guy? In this case, then I found out it's Mel Brooks, and you see it with the different eyes, like, hey, that's very witty. And Leslie Nielsen, again, is hilarious, but I think in this case, it's like he's playing this Naked Gun character, but as a bad guy. And the one thing I thought that the Zucker brothers and Mel Brooks got from Leslie Nielsen for parodies is every character that's in a parody has to play it as if it was serious context, even if it's an absurd way. That's what a parody works, is when the characters act serious in a stupid, absurd manner, in a stupid, absurd context. And that's why it works, you know? But it's not just him. It's not just Leslie Nielsen who makes a great performance. Peter McNichol. This guy steals the show. In the 90s, he stole the show. And not just in that movie, he stole the show as Renfield, as the bug eating Renfield. He's hilarious in as Janov in Ghostbusters 2. I know it's 1989, but still close. In Mr. Bean was hilarious. And of course, Adam Family Values as the camp counselor. He took those little roles and make them really big. It's like you remember this guy. It's like, damn. And then he was in Numbers and Ally McBeal in a more serious role. But it's like, still, here's a guy who deserves more respect on the same. I respect you, Mr. McNichol. You deserve that respect. So yeah, that's in this case, Dracula Dead in Love It is number 13. Sorry, is number 12 for me. Number 11, Fright Night. And I don't know which versions, because this is one of those remakes that didn't add anything out new to the 2011 remake. They didn't add anything new, but they didn't take away from it. It's like they're pretty much identical. Colin Farrell as the lead vampire was good, and I think at that time, Colin Farrell wasn't getting as much role as he is now. People forget that for a while he was unbankable as a star. People didn't want to touch him after the Alexander basically flop. They didn't want to touch him, so he had to do roles as bad guys like in Horrible Bosses, where he stole the show in Fright Night there. And the next year, he had the remake of Total Recall, which didn't work. Imagine that. And now look at him. He was the Penguin. He's getting the role. He basically get nomination after nomination. But there was a period of time where people didn't want to headline a movie with Colin Farrell. But I really like Fright Night, and I thought it was a very good movie. I'm still remembering that McLovin was in a movie, but for not that long. That's for number 11. Now to my top 10, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. I didn't say there wasn't a joke, but this movie was pretty funny in a way that's not supposed to be funny. Sometimes I think the main actor I was surprised that wasn't. I thought it was Liam Neeson's son because he looked so much alike. And I found the writers were basically the writers of Beetlejuice. And Beetlejuice is why it's basically close associate of Tim Burton writing that movie. And there was a bit of humor in this that worked. And Dominic Cooper plays assistant. And I thought it was very good. It was action paced. I would have seen maybe not a sequel to Abe Lincoln because it's like the story ended there. But I could have seen something in the same universe. It was very fun, very entertaining. Like not every movie needs to be serious. Not every movie that's about vampire needs to be serious. Because sometimes there's some things about that mythology can be very, very ridiculous. That can be basically exploited for better storytelling. But that's number 10. Number 9, John Carpenter's Vampires. John Carpenter did a lot of great movies, especially The Thing. He also did the Showdown in Little Tokyo. He did the original Halloween. Like, all on this is like, okay, he's really good at what he does. He's really good, I think, in The Art of Madness as well. He did. It's in The Amount of Madness, sorry. Like, a lot of great movies the guy did. And this one, I think, I'm not saying it's a great movie, but it's another great movie that people don't talk about. When James Woods plays a great lead role in this case, he plays a vampire hunter, and I think the bad guy, the guy who plays Terry Silver, I think it's Thomas Ian Griffith, plays a bad guy in this one. And you have one of the Baldwin brothers also in this movie. I like that movie, and you could easily rewatch it today and that'd be fine. Number 8. 38 Days of Night with Danny Houston and Josh Hartnett. The first time I saw it in the movie theater, I wasn't such a huge fan of it, but seeing it again, it opened my eyes to how he was much better than I thought. I mean, the acting's good, the story's good. It's just slow pace, but there's a reason for the slow pace. So yeah, that's number eight. Number seven, the only superhero movie in the list, Blade 2. I couldn't put Blade 1. Even Blade 1 was good, but it's like the special effects didn't age as well. Blade 2, though, wow, is it so good? I mean, I wonder why did they bother trying to get another Blade with basically, except Wesley Snipes got the character where it's supposed to be. And he still can play it. I mean, I still would believe it. So it's a great story, and it's Guillermo del Toro as well as director. And everybody did great roles. Like the guy, I think it was uh, the guy who plays Daryl, sorry, Norman Reed, who plays Daryl Dixon, is in there in a role that's quite frankly completely different from Daryl Dixon. You had Ron Perlman, frequent Del Toro collaborator, playing a bad guy, and yeah, yet I think it was Lee Pace playing the bad guy in the movie, the same guy who would end up being the bad guy in Hellboy 2. Nice comparison. Again, two movies with El Del Toro. But it's a very good movie from beginning to end. Like, it's action based, but there's some drama, there's some basically there's some point, some sense of urgency in that movie, and urgency for Blade that he's forced into teaming with others. Whereas with the Daywalkers and the last one, and the Night Stalkers, it didn't fit as well in the third one. So yeah, that's for Blade 2. Number six, Nosferatu. Nosferatu came out last in 2024, and that was very good. I know it's a remake of the original that was really made in like the 1920s, and it was well acted. I mean, Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok. I mean, he's did Pennywise. Now he's doing this. Like, he's gonna get really typecast as horror villains. You had Lily Rose Depp, Johnny Depp's daughter, who played a great role in this movie, and Nicholas Hoult was to me, the heart of the movie. And yet Aaron Taylor Johnson as well in this case. Like, everybody played the role well. And it's like for that kind of movie, I felt like it was slow paced. It took its time, but the drama was always in. And I felt like this movie was always entertaining from beginning to end. So that's number six. Now we're going to top five. Number five, The Lost Boys. I've said before that, it's a shame that Joel Schumacher, through all his great work, people associated with one movie. Well, actually two, but more one, Batman and Robin. I admit it, it's the worst Batman movie, live action Batman movie there's ever been. And there's part of his fault too, but not all of it. It all stemmed from Warner Brothers saying to Tim Burton, not only do we not want your vision no more, we want to make it lighter. And when we said lighter, we mean more, way lighter than you want to. Not just lining up a little bit to Tim Burton, which is what you should have done. Lining up a little bit, but not too much. No, let's make it completely light. That's what happened. But thanks to that, we had Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy. But I digress. Let's then focus here. I don't like that people don't give him enough credit for the great movies he's done. There's there's Flatliners, Falling Down with Michael Douglas. If you haven't seen it, you can see it. Phone Booth and this. Like already there, three to four great movies right there from the get-go. I probably have forgotten one. But it's a shame that people really remembered it for Batman Forever and Batman and Robin when he's done so much better on his own. Lost Boys is a great testament to his creativity because it's about a guy who basically hangs out with friends and he discovers the vampires and they try to turn him and I think they turned, if I remember correctly, they turned some of his families as vampires and basically Kiefer Sutherland plays the lead bad guy in the movie, the lead member of this group. And yeah, it's basically this case is the dilemma for the protagonist, knowing does he basically want to stand with his newfound friends, or he has to fight for his family's sake. So yeah, it's a very good movie. It sounds simplistic. The premise is simplistic, but it works, and it's very good for what it's supposed to be. So that is my number five vampire movie. Number four, from Anne Rice, 1995, Interview with a Vampire. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Kristen Dunst, sorry, and Antonio Banderas. The joke, basically, I still remember the joke from Bowfinger saying, "Hey, how do you think they did Bowfinger? You think Tom Cruise did Tom Cruise was knew he was being filmed?" And it was hilarious. But I felt like Tom Cruise is a guy who I feel some of his best performance happen in roles that he's not typecast in. Roles that basically didn't do often. Roles are, quite frankly, honestly, odd for him. Like one of his best roles to me is still Collateral. Vincent as Collateral. Also, you can't forget his great role as Les Grossman in Tropic Thunder. I mean, every the two times I went to the movie theater to see Tropic Thunder, everybody the end of the end credits and when they saw and Tom Cruise as Les Grossman, people say, "What? It's him?" That is a testament to Tom Cruise's greatness as an actor. They could do this and pull that stuff. And it's also a shame that apart from some movies, there's the same role most of the time. Like I love Mission Impossible, but it's the same role as this, as Jack, same thing as Jack Reacher, same thing as well, The Firm. Like he's playing himself into or the Mummy, even if it was a bad movie, this one, the only bad movie in a long time, Tom Cruise. It's like the same type of role that we see with Tom Cruise. Or Oblivion, Edge of Darkness. Like apart from the Mummy, all of them are good movies, but let's be honest, Tom Cruise is playing the same role. That's why I think those roles really basically brace together. And another role that he was different that basically was different than what he usually does is as Lestat in the interview of Vampire. He's playing the bad guy. But he's portraying with some humanity, he's making it sympathetic, and he doesn't see it as just bad guy. He can see his point of view, why he feels the way it is. And Brad Pitt is always conflicted about succumbing to his vampire nature, whereas Lestat is just embracing it. And the means that I could be more. So yeah, because in his way, he's protecting his loved one by turning them vampires. But that's for the movie Interview with a Vampire. Number three is a more recent movie in the bunch. It's 2025 Sinners. That's right, it went that high. And the reason it's on the top three is because it resembles on the top two's movie, some of the premises. But Michael P. Jordan, this guy needs to be nominated, if not once, but twice in this Academy for both characters. I'm sure he's going to be nominated once for one of the two characters, but still, at least that. It was a hell of a movie. Ellie Steinfeld was damn good in the movie as well. I was on suspense the whole movie. The great performance, the great way the cinematography was excellent, the way it was shot was excellent. All in all, I believe like this and F1 are my two movies of 2025. And I won't say up to date because I damn well know Avatar's not gonna get there anywhere there. So they're my two favorite movies of 2025. And this movie is, if it wasn't for the first two members, that would have been my best vampire movie ever. But what's number two then? The movie that resembles From Dusk Till Dawn. That's a movie though I felt like it's damn good, but I don't know why it has straight to DVD sequels because it didn't need to. It actually reduced the impact. I mean, George Clooney, he just came out ER, or it just came off ER's roles, and now did that movie, and it was very good. It was damn good. I mean, at first you think it's a bank robbing movie, then you realize it's not halfway through the movie, it becomes a vampire movie. And it's very good, very funny. I mean, Tom Savini's character is hilarious. But yeah, it's a great movie, and it's still kind of funny that I hear after I hear the Quentin Tarantino bad mouthing Paul Dano's acting. I mean, does he watch his own movie? How he acts? Like he acted good in this movie, but most of his movie, Quentin Tarantino as an actor sucks. He's a great director, one of my favorite director ever. But he- as a movie actor, he kind of sucks. So who is he to complain about this? And he tries to do a Bret Hart versus Goldberg, but it's like, no, it's not even a Bret Hart versus Goldberg. You know, it's not a Bret Hart versus Goldberg. You'd be like, I don't know, right? Find a wrestler who's not that talented. It'd be like you Morris complaining about, I don't know, complaining about you Morris complaining about Chavo Guerrero's acting. Or no, it'd be you Morris complaining about Chris Jericho, sorry, about Chris Jericho's wrestling. It's like, Were you, Morris, to even complain about that? So you could do some moves, but you weren't as good as Chris Jericho. Same thing there. I mean, he was good in the movie, but I don't see what this diatribe is. But anyway, I really like From Dusty Till Dawn. Salma Hayek also is a show stealer in that movie. Harvey Keitel plays against type because usually plays either mobsters or bad guys. In this case, is actually the protagonist there and very sympathetic. Juliette Lewis is in there, great role as well. Uh, yeah, that's all I can say about the movie. Like, go watch it. It's always worth seeing it, and you're not gonna regret it. And number one is to me, definitive Dracula movie. And it's sad the director now, we did plenty of hits. Right now, everything he does is a flop, and honestly, a bad project. Is Bram Stoker's Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola. Gary Oldman playing the titular role of Dracula. And Gary Oldman really is a we're gonna miss him when he retires. Because right now, supposedly after Slow Horse, he's gonna retire. It's like the guy was a chameleon in everything he did. Yes, he was Gordon, the Dark Knight trilogy, but was also Maze. I think it was Mason something in Annabelle. I didn't even know it was Gary Oldman until I saw IMDb. He was Sirius Black. He was he played Winston Churchill. He was in Tinker Toiler Soldier Spy. He was in True Romance. He was Leon. He was in Leon. He was Norman, the crazy corrupted cop. Like everything. The guy's a chameleon actor, and I'm glad he's getting finally the respect he deserves. Um, was also the bad guy in Fifth Element, but it's like he just changed himself for that role. I mean, Winona Ryder also is like he had a great serious acting turn here. As well, Sir Anthony Hopkins, of course. The guy can act dignified and have great performance in his sleep. But he plays Van Helsing in there. Keanu Reeves might be out of his depth there, but I think claims of his bad acting have been greatly exaggerated. I think he tried to make an English accent. It didn't work, but it's nowhere near as bad as Sofia Coppola and Godfather 3. I just think that somebody tried, he failed, he's not going to that again. But yeah, I really like that movie. I really like Bram Stoker's Dracula. I really like the atmosphere. It's just a shame, as I said before, the director of Bram Stoker Dracula did the Godfather trilogy, get the conversation, and did Apocalypse Now, and look at what he's doing these days. Thing, yeah, did Jack, he did Megalopolis. Enough said. Anyway, that's my list. Let me know what you guys think. See you later.